that moment that happened on stage?
Oh, I'm turning on right now.
Right? Yeah. Did it make you want?
The shove that took place on stage was the moment everything changed. It wasn't just for show. It lit a fire, especially in Terence Crawford. When asked whether it fueled him to go even harder for the September 13th bout, he hinted it might have pushed him to dig deeper, maybe even push for more rounds. But this wasn't just another press stunt. Canelo Alvarez's surprise visit to Crawford's gym spiraled into a heated confrontation, ending in a full-blown brawl. What stood out, however, was Crawford's calm during the chaos. At 37, nearing the end of a legendary run, Crawford isn't just looking to collect more belts, he's chasing a legacy that few fighters in history can match. Some believe Crawford has what it takes to defeat Canelo Alvarez. The question posed was direct. Does Crawford beat him? The response was just as bold. He doesn't just beat him, he cooks him. Looking back at Canelo's fight with Erislandy Lara, many argue that the same flaws that existed in Canelo's game back then are still present now. The only difference is he's older, and Crawford, being sharper and more versatile than Lara, might exploit those same weaknesses. This fight wasn't always in the cards. Canelo brushed off the idea for months. It seemed like wishful thinking. But then Turki Al-Sheikh, the chairman of the General Entertainment Authority in Saudi Arabia, got involved and flipped the entire script. He signed Canelo to a 4-fight contract, starting with the William Skull bout. Now that same deal will culminate with a historic showdown between Crawford and Canelo in Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium, streamed live on Netflix. Tensions are already at a boiling point. Canelo admitted he no longer respects Crawford, saying he came off nervous during their face-off in Riyadh. That led to the infamous shove. Canelo claimed he was pushed to act when Crawford tried to approach him too casually. Meanwhile, the financials for this mega fight have also raised eyebrows. Reports say Canelo is pocketing $150 million while Crawford walks away with $50 million. Yet Bud recently told ring champs with Ack and Barrick that he's only making $10 million. This gap has sparked speculation. Is he doing this mainly for a payday? Boxing insider Rick Glazer strongly disagrees. According to him, this fight isn't about money for Crawford, it's about etching his name in history. Glazer wrote that Crawford is seeking to define what it means to be a great fighter. Not by choosing easy wins, but by pushing his limits. And if that means going up multiple weight classes to face the biggest name in the sport, so be it. Crawford is going for all the gusto, Glazer said. While others duck and dodge tough matchups, Crawford is stepping directly into the fire. Crawford himself echoed these thoughts. During that same interview with Ack and Barrick, he said, "I'm doing it for the opportunity, baby." The legacy outweighs the money. If he wins, he'll become the first man in the 4-belt era to be undisputed in 3 different weight classes, previously holding all titles at 140 and 147. It's a feat that would put him in a class entirely his own. But can he realistically beat Canelo? The Mexican champion clearly has the size advantage. That's undeniable. Yet Erislandy Lara, who gave Canelo one of the toughest fights of his career in 2014, believes Crawford has the tools to do it. Lara's advice is clear. Keep moving, avoid taking punches on the arms, and don't make the same mistake he did by being too cautious. Lara admitted his defensive style allowed the judges to favor Canelo, who looked more aggressive even if he wasn't landing the cleaner shots. For Crawford, the key will be to blend movement with just enough aggression to win rounds and not lose the crowd. A purely evasive strategy could cost him in both the public's eyes and the judges' scorecards. Lara's words of caution were aimed directly at what didn't work for him and what might backfire for Crawford too. In Las Vegas, a defensive snooze fest isn't going to cut it, not with $50 million on the line and global eyes watching on Netflix. Turki Al-Sheikh is billing this as the fight of the century. That kind of pressure demands a show. Lara also pointed to similarities between his performance and what William Skull recently tried against Canelo, both relying heavily on movement and defense, but ultimately getting outwalked by Canelo's relentless rhythm. So for Crawford, dancing around the ring won't be enough. He'll need to mix in some offense, frustrate Canelo, and show control. It's why this fight is so intriguing. Lara says it's 50 by 50. While Canelo is the stronger, more experienced fighter at higher weights, Crawford brings a different type of brilliance, tactical intelligence, adaptability, and that raw drive to win. Crawford will need to prove he can withstand 12 rounds of Canelo's pressure while still dictating the pace. Canelo, like all fighters, has weaknesses. As fights wear on, he sometimes fades. We saw it against Bivol and even in his second bout with Gennady Golovkin. When he controls the tempo, he looks fresh for 12 rounds. But when he gets pushed early, his muscle endurance tends to betray him. Crawford may be smaller, but he's a master of pacing and strategy. He'll know when to push and when to pull back. The advice from Lara couldn't be clearer: stay mobile, avoid getting hit on the arms, and don't fall into over-defending. If Crawford can combine slick movement with bursts of aggressive counters, the path to victory is there. But one huge unknown remains. Can Crawford carry his power and endurance up to 168 pounds? To move up 3 weight classes and still be the same fighter is rare. But Crawford isn't your average boxer. Former WBO champion Chris Algieri believes in Crawford's ability to make the jump. He's seen Bud Lockin like no other fighter. According to Algieri, it's not just about weight. It's about ring IQ, timing, and mental toughness. From a psychological standpoint, Algieri finds the matchup fascinating. On paper, the weight advantage screams Canelo. But mentally, it's hard to bet against Crawford. He's never been bullied in the ring. Canelo, on the other hand, has had moments where he's been pushed around. That, more than anything, gives Crawford an edge. Crawford's understanding of weight distribution, balance, and leverage might even neutralize Canelo's size. As Algieri puts it, the only real way Canelo wins is if he scores a knockout. And when was the last time we saw Canelo knock someone out cold? Even against hard hitters like Golovkin, who arguably punches harder than Crawford, he couldn't get the job done. As we inch closer to fight night, the anticipation builds. This isn't just another bout. It's a legacy fight. For Canelo, it's about defending his territory at super middleweight and showing he's still the king. For Crawford, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to step into enemy territory and leave with everything. Both men know the stakes. For Crawford, this could be his last great moment in the sport. For Canelo, it's a chance to remind everyone that he's not done yet. One fighter is coming up for greatness, the other is defending what he's already built. It's not just size versus speed. It's pride versus hunger, experience versus ambition, power versus precision. So who's going to be the boss? Algieri said it best: he's seen Canelo get bossed. He's never seen Crawford get bossed. That, in itself, makes this a fight too close to call. But one thing's for sure, it's going to be fireworks in Las Vegas. So stay locked in. We'll be bringing you every twist and turn, every breakdown and post-fight reaction. This is boxing at its best. Until then, peace.